Hi, Assalamualaikum. I am Batrisha. So today I want to explain about our own system, which is the MPP Committee Election System. It's actually a Java GUI based application which designed to manage and simulate the student representative election process in a modern and efficient way. So the main purpose of the system is to replace the traditional manual voting method with a digital solution that is more secure, accurate and user-friendly. So this system allows students to vote electronically through a simple graphical interface. So each student is required to log in before voting, which helps to ensure that only authorized users can access the system. So once they log in, students can view the list of MPP candidates they want and cast their votes easily. So after submitting a vote, the system will automatically record the votes and prevents the student from voting again or more than it requires, which help avoid duplicate voting. One of the major advantages of the system is that it reduces human error. So since vote counting is done automatically, the results are more accurate and reliable. The system also saves time because election result can be generated instantly after the voting session ends. Overall, the MPP Committee election system provides a secure, efficient, and practical solution for managing student election using Java GUI technology.
My name is Hazwana Aini binti Muhammad. My student ID is 2024271854. For features, student login system allow user to enter their student ID through a text field to access their voting system and prevent unauthorized user. One student and one vote validation is to ensure that each student can vote only once by checking store voting records. Vote confirmation checkbox. It requires students to confirm their selection before submitting the vote to avoid accidental submission. Submit vote button to record the selected candidate vote when the button is clicked. Automatic vote counting to count vote automatically without manual calculation. And lastly is a user-friendly GUI interface that's provide a simple and clear graphical interface using Java Swing component. So for main output, it will show the login page, and then it will go to the faculty page. After that, it will show the candidate. After voting, it will success.
Hello, my name is Nurini Izzati and I'm responsible for the login module and voting validation logic. My module is critical because it controls who is allowed to access the system and prevents multiple voting. In the login panel class, the login interface is scripted using Java Swing components such as JTags field, JPassword field, and JButton. When the user clicks the login button, an action listener is triggered. Inside this listener, the system retrieves the user input using txtid.getTags and txtpass.getPassword. The first layer of validation checks whether the student ID or password fields are empty. This is important to prevent null or invalid input from entering the system logic. If validation fails, the system immediately stops further execution and displays an error message using JOption pane. The second layer of validation is vote restriction. The system calls the method has voted ID. From the system undian MPP class, this method checks the student ID against a hash set containing previously voted students. The hash set is populated during system startup by reading data from the voted_student.txt file. Using a hash set is intentional because it prevents duplicate entries automatically and it allows fast lookup using constant time complexity. If the student ID already exists, the system blocks access and prevents the user from proceeding. Once all checks pass, the student ID is stored in a static variable, system_mpp.currentStudentID. This allows the student ID to be shared across multiple panels during the voting session. Finally, the system navigates to the faculty panel using card layout. This layered validation approach ensures system security, data integrity, and fair voting.
Hello, my name is Ala Farzana binti Ridwan and I handle the faculty selection and navigation logic. The faculty panel class is responsible for guiding the user from login to candidate selection. I use a grid layout to organize faculty buttons in a clean vertical structure so that it improving the readability and usability. Each faculty button is attached to an action listener. When I click, it triggered. So, this method exists in the main class and play an actual role. First, it scans the exist component in the main panel to check whether a previous chalon panel already exists. If found, it removes the panel to avoid display outdated candidate data. So next, it dynamically creates a new instance of chalon panel using the selection faculty as a parameter. This dynamic instantiation ensures that the candidate list match the chosen faculty. No unaccessory panel remain in memory. The system stay modular and scalable. The use of card layout allow the system to switch panels smoothly without opening new windows or restart the application. So this design improve performance and simplify the debug.
I was responsible for candidate selection logic. In Chalon panel class, candidates are represented using customized JToggle button component. Each candidate button combines an image loaded dynamically from the directory structure, a label displaying a candidate names. When a candidate is clicked, the system execute handle toggle this. This method controls the voting rules. Selected candidates are stored in array list string called terpilih. The system calls the size of this list to ensure that no more than 2 candidates can be selected. If the selection count exceeds 2, the system automatically cancels the action by deselecting the button. This logic enforces the election rule at code level, not just IU level. The confirm button behavior also controlled programmatically. This button confirm .set enable terpilih .size equal to 2. This ensures that the user cannot proceed unless exactly 2 candidates are selected. Accidental or partial voted are prevented. The confirm button text update dynamically to reflect the number of selected candidates, providing immediate feedback to the user. Overall, this logic guarantees valid and controlled voting.
Hi, so back with me again. So I am responsible for the vote recording mechanism and the overall system completion flow. So in the system undian MPP class, I implemented persistent storage using file handling to ensure the vote records are saved permanently and remain consistent even after the system is closed. So during system initialization, the method load voted students bracket is executed. This method reads data from voted student text file using a scanner. So each student ID retrieved from the file is stored in a hash set, ensuring there are no duplicate entries and that each student is recorded only once. So when a vote successfully confirmed, the system call mark vote student ID. This method performs 2 operations. So first, it adds the student ID to the hash set in memory, and second, it writes the same student ID into the file using file writer and print writer. So this dual storage approach ensures synchronization between in-memory data and persistent file data. So after vote submission, the system displays the success panel to confirm the vote. Finally, a timer redirects the system back to the login page after 3 seconds, ensuring smooth flow and readiness for the next voter.
So here it will show the UiTM page, which is Sistem Pengenalan MPP UiTM insyaAllah. It will show the UiTM student login, which is MPP Committee Election Session 2026 or 2027. And it will show the student ID, and I will click it, and at here it have the text file. So I will click my student ID, which is 2024 28536. So the password, I will create it, and I will log in. So it will show the choose your faculty. It has 5 faculty, which is FSKM, FSPU, FKK, FSG, and FSR. Each of these faculty have 4 candidates. So for example, I want to choose FKK faculty. So I will click it, and it will show the candidate that we have to choose. So each candidate have to pick 2 person, which for example, I will choose the candidate C and candidate D, and it will show that it 1, 2 or 2/2. So I select it, and it will show the successfully submitted, and it will come back to the login page again. So if I want to put my if I want to click it again, it cannot, because I have the text file, which is you have already voted. So each person only have to select the undi only one.